He said, sing me that song, the one about Texas, but leave out the part about things that need to change. You can sing about the desert sky, the smell of the piney woods at night. Just tell me again how things have never changed. Sing about how we're happy in the Lone Star State. Sing me that song, the one about Texas, the one where we go there to be happy and free. We send the children to grow up strong and bright. The work is good, but we'd never fight. Just tell me again how things have never changed. Sing about how we're happy in the Lone Star State. I'll sing you a song, the one about Texas, the one where we claim how things used to be. They say a Texan is always big-hearted and kind. A helping hand is never hard to find, and a strong always stood up tall to protect the weak. But there's more to being a Texan than what you speak. Cántame una canción sobre Texas. Vamos ahí para ser feliz y libre. Los niños crecen fuertes y felices. Trabajo es bueno y nunca peleamos. Dime cómo las cosas nunca cambian. Cante como estamos contentos en la Lone Star State. I'll sing you that song, the one about Texas, the one where we go there to be happy and free. You said the children to grow up strong and bright. The work is good and we'd never fight. Just tell me again how things have never changed. Sing about how we're happy. Sing about how we're happy. Canta como estamos contentos en the Lone Star State. Thank you so very much. And as many of you know, and the rest of you are about to know for sure, I was raised as an airline brat, meaning that my dad was an airline pilot. After several years, he became an airline pilot. Before that, he was a bush pilot, as in northern Alaska. And the family having survived that, by the time I was kindergarten age, we moved directly from Point Barrow, Alaska to Houston in the middle of the summer, in the middle of the day. I thought I was gonna die. We stayed there until I barely got out of high school, and I was gone like a rocket, and I don't look back. But I do love Houston, the bayous in particular, the blues music in particular. Lightning Hopkins was a regular hangout at the places I could sneak into as a teenager. So a lot of these licks that I play, those are Lightning Hopkins licks. It's not ZZ Top. They stole it from the same place I did. I had a certain affection for the Bayou City. But one other thing I would mention, that this song is it's a toss-up between which would be the better place, in Los Angeles alone or Houston with you. And this guy loves her so much, he would even be in Houston with her. Then perfectly fine on his own in Los Angeles with a job. Not a direct personal thing, it's not biographical, it's a good concept. Been to Houston much, you know what I'm... Oh, that being said, when I say in LA alone, half the audience, you need to all be in on this, half the audience is gonna sing not in LA alone. It's the backup part of the chorus, it's on the record. They're all gonna sing it, so you might as well know. If I say something and not in LA alone, then you say not in LA alone, it'll sound good. They said I don't dig the Bayou City. No, it's true. But I'd be there in a New York minute just to be with you. I'd be right by you in the Bayou City, not in LA alone. you that happy home. Traffic jams, crime, cop bugs, and flooding ain't too much for me. You know one thing I can't stand is that high humidity, but I'd be right by you in the Bayou City, not in LA alone. Right by you in the Bayou City, I'd buy you that happy home. Refinery smoke chokes the air and I can barely breathe. When hurricanes are coming, they'll jam the freeway and no one can leave. I'd be right by you in the Bayou City, not in LA alone. Right by you in the Bayou City, I'd buy you that happy home. Potholes bigger than a Subaru, trash up in the trees. The cops chase each other cause they think it's fun instead of carjackers, muggers, and thieves. But I'd be right by you in that Bayou City, not in LA alone. Right by you in the Bayou City, we'd buy that happy home. Thank you so much. Well, as luck would have it, this sort of thing tends to run in families. My dad having been a pilot, there being pilots in the family back before World War II. During it, that didn't work out too well. But then after that even, and had an uncle that was an airline pilot at the same place my dad was. And I didn't know that you could grow up and be something other than airline pilot. I thought it was A, B, job, pilot. And somebody could have told me there were other things I could do. But many of you know me as a machinist and tool maker, those two over there in particular. Some of you know me as a Bayou Rat, and they're not here tonight. But others know me as a pilot and a flight instructor and a Southwest guy, Learjet guy before that. And one thing that's a function of being in the transportation industry is that you're always gone. It doesn't matter where you are, there's somewhere you're not. And it's usually home. So this is a song about not being home. And rain, middle of the night, that sort of thing. It's called Rain at Night. Wake alone and hear the rain. The wind through the trees calls your name. I wonder, is it longing for your touch like me? The clock chimes and I should be asleep, not awake with you away from me. I wonder if you lie awake or dream of me. The moon is bright through quiet clouds. To the wind I whisper right out loud, wishing for the day you're coming home to me. The wind that brings you home to me will whisper gently through the trees, and you will lie awake and hear the rain. You will lie awake and hear the rain. You will lie awake and hear the rain with me. With me. When I wake alone and hear the rain, the wind through the trees calls your name. I wonder if you lie awake or dream of me. The wind that brings you home to me will whisper gently through the trees. You will lie awake and hear the rain. You will lie awake and hear the rain. You will lie awake and hear the rain with me. With me. With me. Thank you so very much. Well, as an airline brat, I was running around from one end of the United States to the other every chance I got. And my favorite place in the entire world was outside of Las Cruces, New Mexico, at my grandparents' farm. And anytime an 8 or 9-year-old boy can be turned loose with a tractor and guns, you know, that's where he's going to be. Because, you know, tractors and guns. But, and wide open spaces. But this song has sort of slipped into the set list here. This is called the Alley-Oop Bar song. And the reason it's called that, because there was a place called the Alley-Oop Bar out in the middle of nowhere, beside the road. Literally, maybe if it wasn't nowhere, you could walk to nowhere from here, because there was nothing there other than a bend in the highway, and just after the Rio Grande Bridge. You know, both sides are America. That's a thing that can happen. And the farm was on both sides. But the story is, my grandfather decided it would be a great day to take us playing cowboys and stuff out in the middle of the desert. So we got my grandmom's car and off we went. And this was his land, but it was a few miles from the regular part of the farm, where Radium Springs is. Long story short, we got out, we got finished with tearing up the desert and went back to get in the car, and he had locked the keys in the trunk. Only place we could go was the Alley-Oop Bar, which normally would be off limits, but you know, hey, keys in the trunk, you know, keys in the trunk rules. So we got to walk down the road, and you know, being 9, of course it was okay to drink cream de menthe. I thought it was pretty good. And I had this enormous pistol in the small of my back there, and I got an enormous response from the gentleman at the bar when I put it up there for him after about an hour. There is a newspaper account of a very small cowboy holding up the bar in 1959, but we don't know if it's because of me. They did a dance there called the Radium Stomp, or the Radium Shuffle, depending on how drunk the people were. It's kind of a fandango sort of a thing, and where they got dance partners at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I don't know. My grandfather tried to get my grandmother to come get us. He was able to call out because it was a party line, but he couldn't call back in. She couldn't call back in to tell us that she had no keys to anything. He had all the keys. So when she showed up about an hour later on a Ford tractor, the one, this was not a happy woman. And when she found a drunk 9-year-old, she was even, she was beyond herself with glee. So this song sounds a little off balance. It's from the perspective of an inebriated 9-year-old. Come on down to the alley-oop bar. Chances are it ain't too far. It's out of sight, it's out of state. Closes early but it opens late. There's a big bend in the road, so you'll need to go real slow. Or you might drive through the alley-oop bar. Alley-oop, oop, oop, oop. Alley-oop, oop, oop, oop. Alley-oop. Well, it's long been the local and a sin where the children drink. Cream to mint that won't stunt your growth. Boy, you're already tall. You can't get germs from alcohol. The Roadrunner clock is the latest thing. Phone calls out, but it never rings. So come on down and get drunk, do the radium song. It's nearly dark, really cold. It's got a 10-foot shuffleboard, whiskey, beer, and tequila too. Am I even getting through to you? Woods never had a local band. It's just across from the Rio Grande. So come on down and get drunk, do the radium song. Alley-oop, oop, oop, oop. Alley-oop, oop, oop, oop. Alley-oop. Let me tell you about the time I gained some fame. Long before they changed the name, the old man left his keys up in the trunk. We went down the road, got good and drunk. He got out, started to dance. I forgot about the gun, they put down my pants. And that's the day I held up the alley-oop bar. Alley-oop, oop, oop, oop. Alley-oop, oop, oop, oop. Alley-oop. This next song I'm going to do is an instrumental. Technically, these are all instrumentals, but this one, my brother and I wrote this, and by wrote it, he actually used notes and things, we wrote it down. It always sounded to us like it should be in Portuguese, and we don't speak Portuguese. We don't know anybody that does speak Portuguese, but it sounded like, oh, now Mr. Freitas speaks a little Portuguese. But it sounded like it was not quite Spanish. It just, it was just a little left of Spanish to me. But this is it's a wonderful melody. It has a beautiful violin part that you will not be hearing tonight. I could play it for you, but then the guitar would be tacit. So this is better. This is called Dolorosa. we're gonna go back to southern New Mexico here real quickly. Being out there on the farm so much, there were a couple of dozen guys, maybe not a good year, 3 dozen. They're called braceros, and these are Spanish nationals, Mexican nationals that only spoke Spanish for the most part, or an Indian version of Spanish that would come in from the interior and stay there at the place for up to 2-3 weeks at a time. And then they'd go home once in a while for a few weeks. They made, what I wouldn't call it a great wage now, but they were paid regularly on Fridays, and 10% of their money went to the Mexican government for, retirement. Somewhere in the late 90s, a few of them got it. I did see that in the paper. But what impressed me the most, other than how polite they were and hardworking, is that they were so readily able and willing to dodge bullets. My dad, a lot of times I didn't know they would be there. I was shooting in that vicinity. I got straightened out in multiple languages so fast over that when I was about 10 years old. We came to agreements on who would shoot where and whom. that was really good. But no, these guys were instrumental in my upbringing. They taught me a lot of things you're not supposed to do in public. They explained it to me in English and Spanish, especially Armando. He was very quick to let me know that you're not supposed to take a shovel and dig in this area because there's a ditch bank and you're going to let the water come out. And then we're all going to have to get up here and fix it. And yeah, it's true. You dig out a ditch bank, you're going to have to deal with consequences. But this is a song, it's really about their music more than anything, because they sang these beautiful melodies at night. You're drifting over the fields. Silhouette black mountains slowly start to fade. High thin desert air, pinon, mesquite and sage. Boys sing canciones to greet the waking day. Walk up the ditch bank road to be Los Tios, mi primos along the way. Where do they go when the day has begun? Los Tios y mis primos, home place, Mexican boys and their song. The sun gently lays the valleys burdened down. Uncles and cousins ride the ditch bank road back home. Mexican boys sing a broken corazon, songs of lost love, songs of longing for their home. Where do they go when the shadows grow long? Los Tios y mis primos, home place, Mexican boys and their song. Where do they go when the shadows grow long? Los Tios y mis primos, home place, Mexican boys and their song. Well-pumped engines drone lightning streaks across the sky. Highway semi-tires whine, sing a lullaby. The smell of desert rain, the chief is running through the night. Count seconds till the thunder, we knew everything would be alright. Where do they go when storms come at night? The Santa Fe's big engines and knowing everything could be alright. Los Tios y mis primos, home place, Mexican boys and their song. Thank you so much. And for what it's worth, the Purcell program and the farm, my grandparents, they're all some of history's mysteries. You can still find the place on the map, and that's about it. Well, for one more song I've got for you guys today. You may or may not understand what you need to understand about the airline industry to really get this song. But an awful lot of pilots and flight attendants live in one place and work in another place, and hey, they get to fly free, so they can jump from Houston to Chicago without being charged for the seat. You still have to use your time to get to Chicago and back on Southwest or whatever airline you happen to work for, or somebody else's airline, which they trade. But you get there and you're on your own dime until it's time to go to work. So, things get a little cheap. And as advice I can give you that comes from direct personal experience over 40 years on the road, you look at a hotel marquee and the more adjectives it has, the less you want to be there or the less it should charge. When they get down to fireproof, they're digging, A certain lack of fire is supposed to be inherent in the price. And they don't mention other things that, they should have too. This is a true story. It's a little bit long, but this is a 27-minute song. But we're going to shrink that down. Just the highlights. Just the highlights. Well, this true story I'm gonna tell you about. The fireproof Tangiers Hotel was on the south side of Chicago, 1995. I was a pilot there trying to get some rest while the local talent were doing their best to see who among us might not retire alive. Then a couple in the room next to me started procreating vigorously with the wall shaking, waking me up. I could not sleep. I decided I'd go just across the street to Pindo's Family Diner to eat, when around the corner came half the cops in town. They rolled up on me and wanted ID. I told them, guys, I'm just here to eat, and I always leave my wallet in the hotel room. When I reached back to show them my hotel key, I look up and they were pointing 6 guns at me. By that I mean 4 Glocks and 2 45s. So I'm out there in the parking lot, talking down to Chicago cops for dang near an hour till they let me go on my way. I was so happy just to be alive, all I could eat was a pile of fries. I threw a 20 on the table and headed back the other way. There was a full moon rising when I crossed the street. I see 5 guys you do not want to meet, baggy pants and red sneakers, standing where I needed to be, gangsters. So I walked up and said, hey, you got a light? It's great that we're all out of jail tonight. We smoked half a pack of cigarettes. I headed back the other way. There was a couple in a Lincoln in the parking lot, and they were giving it all they got, fogging up the windows, but the little footprints were clear. I only went out to get something to eat, and I wasn't looking to find me a front row seat to Sodom or Gomorrah. Then here come the cops again. she bailed out and took off running. He fired up the Lincoln and gave it the gun, cutting donuts around the universe, smoking all 4 tires. Well, the cops just stood and watched the scene, but in the best piece of driving since Steve McQueen, he crashed backwards to the alley through a room full of washing machines. So they're out there in the parking lot, running around like Chicago cops, yelling on the radio, getting in each other's way. She walked up and said, "Hey, do you want a date?" I had to tell her, "No, it's a little late for dinner and a movie, but thanks a lot anyway." About the time she got to the street, here comes that Lincoln with the fold-down seats, and she jumped through the window, Dukes of Hazzard style. They were gone like a rocket towards Cicero. Where they ended up, God only knows, but I was glad to have them and that Lincoln out of my life. Well, the cops made noise till 4:45. I laid there awake, glad to be alive, when the couple in the next room started a whole new chorus. I shook a lamp off my table after half an hour. I got myself up, shaved and showered, got the uniform on, thinking maybe I could sleep on the plane. Come back again next week, do it all again. Thank you so very much, everybody. You're a wonderful audience. Tish is going to love you guys, and you're going to love her, I know.
Well, let's hear it for the inimitable Rob Case.